Hello, welcome to this playthrough of Civilization 5. I've got Brave New World add-in and whatever the other one is, Gods and Kings or something, which those improve the diplomacy and some other things. Espionage, I think. And the gameplay here and there, the artificial intelligence is a bit better. It's worth getting them if you can, basically. But what this is going to be is something of a beginner's guide. Let's get started. There are various options, but we'll start and see how it goes. Let's set up. I can just press play now and it will go with whatever the settings are, but I'm going to choose setup game and you can have a look at how it goes. So I like a random leader, but you don't have to have a random leader. You can choose one from the ones that come with the game, plus others you can download as extras. Each one is slightly different. They usually have a special unit which they're good at, and they usually have some special technology which allows them to cheat slightly compared with other civilizations. But of course those others have specials as well. And the idea is if you play to your specialities, you might do a bit better. Okay, but I'm going to go for random. Same for random map type. There are lots of map types. Single supercontinent, a bunch of islands, some sort of fractalized thing, a version of the Earth, a planet with continents. There's things like, I don't know, made up stuff. You can see there's loads and loads and loads. You can mess about with it for ages. Random map type is my favourite because I figure if I'm starting from the Stone Age, which is where the civilizations begin, just at the end of the Stone Age really, you discover agriculture. And that's when the game starts. You're not going to know what sort of planet you're on, are you? So let's just pick one at random. Huge size I go for because really I don't like it when too many civilizations are sitting right on top of each other. I like to try and expand a bit first before bumping into other civilizations. I like to have a bit of room. I don't like to play warlike games, so the less conflict with other civilizations the better. It can be fun to have a bit of a battle, but only if you win. Difficulty level. If you're a beginner, a total beginner, start at the settler level and the artificial intelligence, the AI, will leave you alone. You can just mess about and figure out how things work, and that's probably good for a game or two just to get the hang of it and try and figure out what on earth you're trying to do. But I'm going to try and show you what you're trying to do in this game. So I'll play on Prince, which is a fairly tough level for a beginner. I don't get anywhere on the higher levels at all. On Prince I can usually win, so we'll see. And the game pace. Quick, standard, epic and marathon. Now I'll tell you, quick game is not quick. It's hours and hours and hours. You can't even play it in a day usually. So we'll see, because I'm going to record this in episodes and we'll see how long it goes, I guess. I haven't decided whether to do half hour or hour, but I should probably do hour long because the game does take ages and it'll be so many files. There is also some advanced setup business which you can go to, where you can choose what the other civilizations are, the AI ones. You can choose how many city-states there are, and all these details. One thing, I've turned off the time victory. With the time victory, the game ends at a certain turn, even if you haven't won in any of the other ways. I found it annoying because it just suddenly says, hey, you've lost, because you haven't done this, even though I'm about to launch my rocket to get into space or something like that. it just decides you've lost after a certain number of turns. It's ridiculous, so I just turn it off. There are other options you can investigate. There's all sorts there, but not going to worry about that, except for turning off the time victory. You've got to actually win to win the game, right? The time victory means the player with the highest score at the end is declared the winner. Anyway, let's start, shall we? Ooh, I'm going to be Pachacuti of the Incan Empire. So I have a slinger, an ancient era warrior of some sort, and I can build terraced farms. So I'm a Latin American guy from the Incans. That's nice. It takes a while to load this stage, so I'll probably pause the recording just while it loads it. If it'll let me. Right, we're back. So the terraced farm is a farm that can be built on hills and doesn't need fresh water. So that's quite useful sometimes. And the slinger is a bit better than the archer, basically, which is an early unit. So let's see. This says begin your journey. It's off the bottom of your screen slightly, because there are things at the top of the screen which you need to see, and the stuff at the bottom is not so important. And to keep the aspect ratio right for YouTube, I can't show that bit. So let's just have a look at the game board here. You start off with a couple of units, a settler, and in this case an Incan warrior. The settler is how you found your first city. The game usually puts it in somewhere sensible. So you can zoom in and out by scrolling the mouse wheel, and move to the sides by moving it to the edges. Except I'm recording this in a window and it's not very good at it, so I have to use the arrow keys to move around. Or you can click on the map. But anyway, I'm just going to settle a city right here where it suggests. You can see I've got some stuff nearby. You may not, if in your game you may not see these little icons. They're optional here. See, you've got some icons here. You can show yield icons and stuff and so on. You can experiment with this. I usually have the hex grid on and have it showing trade routes, which we'll see later. There's another view, which is like a board game view of it. It's a bit horrible. Well, it looks nice. It would be great as a board game, but computer graphics are a bit better, you know. So let's settle. And the point of this game, the purpose, is to build a civilization and get it all the way through to the modern era, or at least to destroy all your rivals if necessary, if you want to play a warlike game. So I founded Cuzco. Brilliant, eh? And this guy, let's explore, because the first thing I'm going to need to do is explore the fog. If you have grey sort of hexagon blocks here, it means your video settings are not at a high enough level. Maybe your graphics card can't handle it, or you can just go into the options, to the video options, and wind up the resolutions, or the just show it quickly. Video options. You can't change them while in the game, but you would need to put the fog of war quality up. Okay. So let's explore, because I need to find somewhere to put another city at some point. Looks like I'm on a coastal area. It's hard to tell. Can't see much. Choose production, it says. That's what this symbol means as well. So in this city, I have to build stuff. Now, I have resources to develop, and I'm going to need some workers. So I'm going to start straight away with a worker. There are other things, we'll look at them. Now it says choose research. That's this as well. You can click on this or this. Technology, because civilization is all about advancing. You can see there's all sorts of techs. Whoosh. The scroll bar is at the bottom, and that's a close button. But I only have a choice of these at the moment. But note on the map, if I just close it, I have cows, bananas, And that looks like some cinnamon spices or something like that. So let's go back. You can just click on them here, or have a look at what they lead to. Now I'm going to want to do something with cows, right? Because I've got some cows. So that looks like a good place to start. Don't know what I'm going to do with cows. Nothing naughty, I can assure you. Alright. I'm looking around to see what's around me, what resources I might find, where I might place a second city. It'll be a while before I get to do another city, but I will do at some point. Ooh, there's a border here. I have met a city-state, Ife. City-states are like AI players, except they are not trying to win the game. They are just passive. They sit there, they don't expand their territory, as far as I'm aware. They will fight and go to war, they'll make alliances, but they are only interested in their own city. They're not building an empire. You can make them allies, and you get access to the resources, you can pass through the lands and so on. You can pass through the land anyway, but it annoys them, and then they're less likely to be an ally of yours if you do that. You'll see how this goes later. I usually leave the city-states more or less alone. I use them a bit. But not much. I can found a pantheon. Ooh. I have some faith. I don't know why I've got some faith. Maybe it's something the Incas do, because I haven't built a temple or anything. There are buildings which generate faith. And faith is kind of a sort of money that you can use to buy stuff. So let's found some pantheon. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. If we look back at our city, the kind of pantheon to found is up to you. It's on the higher levels. Happiness is a bit of a difficulty, so you can found a pantheon which gets you extra happiness. It's a possibility. Or you can look at your resources and found a pantheon that's going to take advantage of the kind of landscape you're in. I'm in a kind of a jungly type place, so tundra is obviously no use. Let's see. Just generally faster growth rate can be useful. I'm not planning to fight a lot, but sometimes you just have to. Extra science, if I was a civilization going for that, I might go for it anyway, I don't know. Culture is another way to win, as we will see. Banana, citrus and wheat resource. I can see some bananas here. It's a place to start, isn't it? I don't have wheat, but I'm in jungle. I'm likely to find some citrus plants at some point. So let's go for that. Off. I'm going to worship the sun god. There we go. Off. Next turn. I've used up my faith now, but I'm getting 2 a turn from something. Now let's explore around a bit. What am I waiting for, you might say? What are these turns all about? Well, I'm waiting for my city to grow and to build the warrior or the worker, then I can build the next thing and so on. If you're on a hill, by the way, you get greater visibility, so it's good to explore the hills. Warriors are not great explorers because although they can bash things, they don't have much movement. There are scouts which you can buy when you have the appropriate technology, who can move further, or you can get horses or something like that which obviously can move further. Marble up there. Cattle there. Research! Oh, I've found animal husbandry. Hooray! I can get my special slinger unit. Where would I get a scout from? Chariots there. Don't know if I can remember where the scouts come from, but never mind. This allows me several things. Archery. Let's get the slinger, just in case there's bad guys around. There usually are somewhere. Oh, next turn. Alright. To move the guys, by the way, you select them with the left button and then right click on the destination. Have I clicked this? Yes, okay. So I would, if he wasn't selected, I would select him with the left button, then right click where I want him to go. It's as simple as that. The interface is a bit dodgy sometimes though, because there are some things where you right click to do something and some things where you left click to do the same thing, which is not terribly helpful, I think. That happens when you're bombarding enemies with catapults and things like that. But you just have to note these exceptions, basically. Two turns until my worker is built. One turn until the city grows. There, it's grown, and my work has appeared anyway because the city grew, presumably, and made it develop faster. So let's sort out these cows and construct a pasture. When the worker's selected, his available courses of actions appear, and the only one that I can do is construct a pasture because I haven't developed the technology for these other things. Oh, bad guys. A minor victory. Well, what I might do is fortify myself and let them attack me. I should do better that way. I'll have some defensive bonuses. Oh, I can buy something else as well. But what? I'm going to build a monument which increases the culture and expands the growth of the city's territory. Our culture spreads our influence, basically. Let's see if anything's happening over here. Yep. Oh no, they're coming after me. Brilliant. It's not the end of the world because cities have quite good defences. And some silly warrior isn't going to take it. Pottery's good because I can get sailing. I'm on the coast. I can start exploring with boats if I do that. These guys, wake up. Oh, there's a camp there. Nice, but let's get these guys first. You right click on them and whop. They lost 34, I lost 32, and I gained a bit of experience. Not a great battle, but that's life. Better, but I'm pretty weak now. I've found from experience they don't usually attack from outside from their camp. They're usually safe next to them, actually. Not always, I expect. Oh, here we go. Not always, indeed. It was good strategy of them to attack. Now I'm going to have to build another unit. But that's alright, because I've got that archery thing now. As soon as my monument is built, I'll build a slinger. Somebody else has founded a pantheon. And now I can adopt a policy. Social policies are like how your government works. and you can see there's tons of it, and there's more which comes later. At first you have access to these 4, and this arrives when you enter the classical era, the Renaissance era, the medieval era, and so on. And you've got no chance of adopting them all in time, usually. It's certainly not in a quick game. I don't know how it varies in the others, but they all have some advantages. So if I look at tradition, it's good for a small empire. It greatly increases the rate of border expansion, basically it gives you extra culture. Liberty is if you want to expand quickly. This is like growth, and this is like expansion by building settlers and building new cities. This is if you're in a warlike situation. It gives you, if there turn out to be lots of barbarians around, it can be useful to have this one, because your combat units get extra bonuses. And piety, if you're going to go for faith and temples and gods and stuff like that, you can build priests and prophets and what have you. Well, prophets and inquisitors and missionaries, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to go for, at first I'm going to go for tradition and try and get some growth. Get my cities to grow more quickly at first. So yes. So right away I have extra 3 culture in the capital. When I've got all the policies, I'll get extra growth and a free aqueduct in 4 cities. So, wonderful, but let's get on with it. My monument should appear and I can build something else. Right, I'm the most productive civ so far out of all the others. We don't know who they are. I have developed pottery, hooray! Your game might have a voice. I've turned off the voice under the audio options here, because I don't like it. I've also turned off the music because YouTube doesn't like it. And actually, it's a bit boring after a while. I tend to play my own music. This pottery allows me to build a granary, which speeds up city growth, and the shrine, which speeds up faith production. Now I've got to be careful here with those guys over here. I don't know if I can afford to send him over there and get destroyed by a barbarian. I will keep him away from there for the moment. I don't know if he can do anything yet. Can I build a farm? I don't know. Production, I've got to choose. There's 2 ways of doing it. I can click that button and it pops up the thing that you saw before. Or I can go into the city by clicking on it and choose production. You can see what it's doing. And you can click here and see which cells or hexes your citizens are working on. They get the food, some gold, some productivity. So I've got 2 production, and yet I'm the most productive. That's pretty amazing. Anyway, you see I'm doing all right. No faith coming at the moment. I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway, choose production. I'm going to build a slinger. I'm probably going to need 2 to get rid of those wretched barbarians. Choose research. Now, for extra productivity, I need to be able to build mines, which my worker can do when I've got the technology. And for exploration, I need sailing. And I also need a scout, if I can ever find the technology for producing a scout. What is it? I'm going to do mining for the moment. And to find out about the scout, I can go to the Civilopedia and look at units and scout. Does it tell me where I get him from? Nope. But that's the picture I should be looking for. Okay. Well, I'll get that. I'll figure it out in a minute. It's got to be in the technology tree somewhere. If you need to know what technology you're doing, you can open this little thing here, and there's all sorts of stuff. And there's the tech tree. Maybe scouts are not possible for my civilization. It is conceivable that the Inca can't build scouts. I don't know. All the civilizations differ slightly. I can deconstruct a farm for extra food. Do that. When you're building units, you have to watch out that you don't go into the red financially. You also have to watch out that your people are happy enough. Happiness is a big problem at the higher levels of play, because one of the ways the game biases itself against you is by increasing the amount of unhappiness that your civilization generates. In other words, your population becomes more uppity. Adopt policy, hooray! Now I'm developing the tradition, social policy, so I can choose one of these now. Aristocracy, 15% production when building wonders, or extra happiness for every 10 citizens could be useful, but I don't need it just yet. Garrison units cost no maintenance, and they gain 50% range. That's pretty good. With barbarians nearby, I'll go for that for the moment. What happens is I generate culture, and when I have generated 40 at this point, I will be able to get my next social policy. Then the number doubles. I will need to get 80, and then 160, and so on. But as you build more cities, you generate culture more quickly, so it kind of balances out a bit. Now I've got my first slinger. Let's send him over here. You can't stack units in this game. Let's build another one. Oh, I can build a scout, so there you go. I saw it there. Now I want sailing. I want to build a boat. Just to explore, see what's out there, see if there's anything I can exploit or something. So I can't build on these because I need, if I point at them, you see that this little box comes up just above where it says a unit needs orders. To exploit that I need calendar, which is a technology I don't have yet. So let's go and build a mine. Now the slinger, I'm going to just sit in there for the moment and go there with 2. Perfect, and now I need to build something else. But what? Because I really want to get some settlers going and stuff, but let's suppose my slingers are going to survive and I can churn out a settler. I haven't explored. I need to send a scout out. I need to explore more. I have no idea where to put my second city yet. If I look, it's not going to be much good right next to Ife. There's barbarian guys there, which are an absolute pain. It's probably these who've explored around there themselves. So let's just send them here. Am I able to do a ranged attack? No, haven't got the range. Oh. Yes, I do have the range. Oh, that's nice. And here, just do a ranged attack on them? I can't. Really, the tactically sensible thing for me would be to attack their village, in fact, rather than them, because the village is generating more of them. So ignore them for a moment, and let's do a ranged attack on that. I can see it because I'm on a hill. I don't know if these can see it through the jungle. No, they can't. You see, they are going to have to take a risk. Now here, you just right-click on the target, and you can see I get 40% bonus against barbarians. I guess that's an Inca thing. And in defense I get terrain bonus, fortification bonus, perhaps. These are not doing much damage. Oh well, they don't take much damage. Oh, another policy. Hooray! I can either a free culture building. Yes. I don't know what that is. Have I fired with both of them? Yes. Ife is under attack by barbarians, presumably. Now, I'm just going to put him on automatic and let him chug around by himself. Right, ranged attack, let's have a look. I think I've killed them all. Oh. But there are guys in the way, so I've got to kill them. Can build a settler. Ife requests my assistance against barbarians. Well, maybe we'll look at this at some later stage. I'm busy with my own civilization. Calendar is a good one because I can exploit those bananas. He can see that because he's on a hill, whereas these guys have to be next to it. There seem to be a lot of barbarians around, but I suppose they're all coming from the one village. Now they will go back and defend their village, presumably, rather than stay out here and attack me. Because once that village is destroyed, barbarians stop being generated. Ah, now look, this silly barbarian has come close. And I have... Now here, I left-click on that, then I left-click on the target. Left-click both times. This is that one of those dodgy exceptions for bombardment. Right. Right, next turn, hopefully I can take that village, or camp, or whatever it is. These are going to dig up the field, probably, though. It's a total nuisance. Ooh, I've met somebody. We seek peace with you all. Yeah, right. Say hello. I propose that he accepts my embassy there. Goodbye. If you accept ambassadors, then it makes them a little more friendly. Yeah, see, that barbarian has dug up the farm. Oh, somebody else has dug up the barbarian camp. That's brilliant. My guy can be promoted. Rough terrain, this is what we have all around here, so he's good for rough terrain. Now let's get him back here. And him too, I think. Promote another unit? Yeah, rough terrain as well. So where on earth am I going to send my left click, left click? Slinger can do a ranged attack as well. Where am I going to settle next? I don't know. Just don't know. Scout is looking down there. There's places up here which would be nice to explore. I need to build another scout really and go up there. And what's down here? Is this just the coastline? It looks like it might be. It's hard to see though. Well, we know that the Barbarian got around there somehow, but he might be from another camp. I've got the best military power. Barbarian tow rags. Dug up the mines, dug up the fields. What rotters, eh? The wheel leads to horseback riding. Allows me to build chariots and stuff. Could be useful. Where's this nearby barbarian camp? I don't know. But you can gain some kudos with them by helping them out if you've got the time, the inclination, or the need. Right, I have built a settler, so we better go somewhere. It's recommending I build up here. It always seems to recommend very close to where I already am, which I'm not that keen on, but I'll go with it. I'll move him, say, up to there, so I'll just point at it and right click. Let's see what we get when we get up there, and I'll send one of my slingers up there to the other one. Where was it? Up here? Yeah. And you can look after the city. A garrison city tends to be a little bit happier and safer. Let's build a workboat first of all. I'll show you a workboat. A workboat is like a worker but for the sea, so he can hunt these whales. The difference is that a worker stays alive once you can keep using him, whereas a boat is usable once only. Now he has to go back and repair this. And there it is. He'll repair it fairly quickly, and he can go on and repair the mine. My scout has found a barbarian encampment way over here. But anyway, let's try and select the settler. It's not so great to settle really close to other cities because then you get overlaps of land that you can develop. I don't know what's up there. Let's send this guy just over to have a quick look. Plenty of cows. But here we've got bananas and sheep and stuff. Let's just settle. Now, no monument here. I think this may be because I've got a free one from the social policy. So I'm going to build a granary, which makes it grow faster. Okay, the workboat is built, so send him here, do some fishing. Right. Oh, I should have looked at that. Yes, you see I have a free monument. I tend to go for growth buildings early on because it's best in the long run if your city grows in the early stages rather than later. More barbarians. Extra growth. Extra gold and less unhappiness. Let's just check how we're doing. Oh, we're okay at the moment. Let's go for extra growth. You forget most of these technologies in the end anyway, so if there's not much to choose between them, writing is good for diplomacy. I think when you're starting the game you're not going to know which ones are good for what, and it doesn't matter too much. You can build wonders of the world as well, which are again kind of reflect things your civilization can do better than others, or cheats in other words. But you have to spend quite a time doing it. It'll be less than 12 turns because the city's going to grow. carry on exploring. Another city-state, mercantile. They're good for money if you can ally with them. Oh, that's Antwerp. If your display isn't showing this, it's because there's different things you can show up here. If you want to. Trade info can be useful. I tend to show what science is doing. There's also more info display up here. You can have your advisors, you can click through, they tell you, they give you some advice on what to do. So it's good to have a read of it. See what they think. But I guess I'm doing that job at the moment. Don't think I have calendar yet, do I? You don't necessarily need to build farms everywhere that you possibly can. You only really need to build them when you're running out of food. But I tend to just build because I can and get them ready in advance. Okay, that's built, so I will now get extra growth and production for the rest of the game. Or until it becomes obsolete, which happens with some technologies. Going to build a boat and explore the world a bit. Especially what's down here. I think I'll do something different. If we look, getting unhappy now, so I'm going to choose this one, which reduces it back up to normal. Explore with this boat. I'm going to build another worker for that city, because that city's not developing very quickly. And he can build a road to that city. Roads cost you money to maintain, but they represent a trade connection between the cities, which makes you money, and they also speed up the movement of units. think I get the idea of that place now. Automatic. Stay there until you're up to full strength. Right. They heal a few points every turn. And that's it. I better save the game. I'm gonna save over that one. You can see I've played it a few times before. And that's it for part 1. I'll see you in part 2. Perhaps.